Saturday, June 27th on Edge Outdoors. We're going to start a new bait today. I picked up one yesterday that wasn't producing a couple miles away. So we're going to make this bait really close to the road. I'm going to call it 46 bait. But as you can see, it's knee-deep water. Then it gets a little bit drier and then it gets deeper. I walked through it yesterday. I don't want to walk through that much water. So there's game trails coming out, probably deer trails, but this is a real thick, dense swamp. Actually, on the other side, about a mile and a half away, that's where I have peninsula bait. So I know I might be pulling bears from either or, but there is on the other side of this road over here, there is another big swamp. So I'm hoping, but that's B.
We can get them from.
Hopefully we can get them to come across the road. So what my plan is today to show you is how I already cut all the logs. We got a little bit of video of that. I just take down trees
That are already dead.
Yeah, dead trees, sorry, that are already down and dead. And this is an area that's, they got to come out in the thick. It's a little open, but we're hoping that they like it, and obviously they've been liking my bait. So what I'm going to try doing, Tucker could turn the camera around, is we're going to try sitting up in that cluster of stuff right there, not too high off the ground, so I can still see kind of out. And I got a little bit of a backdrop because this is all wind damage area. So when it's wind damage, it's kind of a pain to pick a good spot. I'm not a real big fan of having to deal with the north wind, but I could also put it, there's plenty of trees to pick from, but that would be my main goal, is to put it right here out of some game trails coming out to come in a little higher land and then go across to get in another swamp. So that's what we're gonna do. Tucker's gonna film. I'm gonna put these logs together, and if it starts producing, then I'll build a backdrop. Try putting stuff together, but the bear they just seem to wanna eat and tear stuff apart. Best I could find was cedar down. I know they're light logs, but if I could I just try to make a triangle. Just enough to keep the little guys out, which anything can get in them. This could have been a spot I could have put a stump, but we're gonna do this. And then I just make it big enough, wedge as much as I can in there. And then the weight from these logs should hold this. So raccoons, which I call them trash pandas. What I do when I start a bait is I got a bunch of different scents. This is actually, I don't get sponsored by them. I don't get sponsored at all. But I really started like using these guys. North Branch Outdoors, they really smell. Maple bacon's the smelliest I found so far. So I don't get anything from them. If they want to try, if they find my page, if they find my channel on Facebook, or if they want to hit me up, that's totally fine. I'm fine with it. I get it at, I'm not affiliated with either. I get it at Walleyes and Whitetail. But that's what I do. I've been using that. I'm going to put some of the Fruit Loops smear. That really smells like Fruit Loops. And then actually what I do when I like starting the bait, I like sprinkling. Get these at Dollar General. When they're 50% off, you pay like $1 for them. Less than $1. And you just sprinkle it around, and when it rains, it really smells. Once it mixes in. So I take that, put that in there. thought a tree was falling. So yeah, so that's what I do. And then obviously I take grease, fryer oil grease. I put some of the Gold Rush in it, especially starting a new bait, so it gets a lot of smells. I mean, this thing's gonna smell like a candy store, like a donut shop. I mean, you got to make it smell good. Smell, because the bear actually, I learned from another influencer on here on YouTube and everything. I learned that, which I did not Google it, so I could be selling false information. A bear has a sense that they, at the roof of their mouth, that's how they can smell so good. So I don't know what the name of it is, but they use it, and when you hear them like snorting, they're actually pulling in smells from their nose, and they got like a smell sensor in the roof of their mouth that when they inhale, they can actually tell smells too. That's why they can smell so good, and that's why they're so leery when they come into a bait. They could sit back here for 45 minutes. I had one time where I sat and I watched. I was gonna shoot it. I was gonna take an opportunity at it if it came in, and I sat and watched that thing for an hour and a half, and it sat 45, 50 yards behind the bait in a thick area, and it just had its nose up. It really wasn't even downwind of me. It was downwind of the bait, and I was sitting, it was kind of a crosswind, but he must, because every now and then he must have caught my scent and he'd put his nose up. So I started taking, at that point, before all these scents came out, I take the liquid smoke, and I have a bottle of this in my stand, and every time I would just spray it real softly, and so hopefully I could trick them, because it worked a couple times where I'd see a bear out and I'd spray this and then they'd come in. But this one, he was a big one, and he got smart and he turned around and walked away. Never circled that I could see, and never seen him again. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what I'm doing here. 46 bait. This is the fryer oil with wish you guys could smell this stuff. This stuff really smells good. Yeah, it smells like butterscotch. I mean, it's, and I just dump it on. I use a whole bucket to start out a bait. Get all that stuff smelling good. And then this bucket I'll throw probably in a cluster of spots after, or right now I'll do it. So I'll just toss them up in a tree and then get it up there so it smells. And then when they start walking through, they start getting it on their feet, start attracting everybody, or every different kind of bear out there. Yeah, I put 10 gallons. That's probably only 9 gallons. Then I use the bacon smear. Then this is my last bucket of this stuff. I don't know. They seem to like it right away. It's on top whip topping. It's getting a little nasty. So we're just gonna splat that on there. Just bang it against the tree. Get a little smell here and there. Actually, that stuff's starting to smell like alcohol, so we'll see. And then I just take the logs, and just boom, boom, boom. Cedar logs are the best. because they're nice and straight. They're nice and straight. And they cover up everything. So yeah, so that's what I do. And then I'll take some of this maple bacon from North Branch Outdoors. Just make her smell nice and stinky. Or smell good, I shouldn't say stinky. Which I should have put up the camera before I started touching all this crap. Maybe I'll have Tucker do the camera. I do some of that. This is just one I tried. I'm not going to diss anybody, but I don't know if it smells the best. I'm not going to show it. So, just trying to get rid of it. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Get this stinky stuff, not stinky, smell good stuff. Get it over here, close it up, put that back there, then take this. Maple bacon, I swear, that stuff is like the bomb. All I do, when it rains, it gets wet, it starts to smell. I think this is the most stuff I put on a bait. Not most, but most scents-wise, so hopefully it doesn't confuse them. And then the Fruit Loops. The Fruit Loops here. I'm just gonna bacon smear or Fruit Loop smell. This stuff. First time I ever used smear, and it reminds me of my old days when I used to eat Fruit Loops for breakfast in the morning. I mean, I don't know how they do it. I'd really like to wish I was smart enough one day to figure this stuff out, which I can. It's called looking into things. But I'm more of a be out in the woods kind of guy. So if I could do everything and just totally kind of slow down on construction and do this, that'd be great. And then I take the trusty rusty liquid smoke. Which this stuff is the cheapest smell you could have, but it pretty much washes away when it rains, I think. And this is a good day. The wind's coming out of the north. And you just get it smelling good up in that trees. Getting them bear want to come out and see what On Edge Outdoors, I don't know why I keep on saying Outdoor Edge, because it's the knife. On Edge Outdoors has to offer. So, yeah. We might go start another bait in a different area today. We got a Blizzard game to go to. Football, last game of the season. Got tickets for it, so do a little bit of that today. It's supposed to be really hot this week. I don't know how well that's gonna go with starting a new bait, but we'll find out. I'll find out next weekend, eh? So this is On Edge Outdoors. You guys take it easy. Keep on liking, subscribing, following. And we're gonna put the camera up and make trail and get out of here. You guys have a blessed day, and we'll talk at you later.